Okay, so now we're over here with Hachette Games with Danni Lowe, talking about what they have here at the booth. What do you have going on today?
So we have a preview of our 4 big Gen Con releases that we'll have at our booth at that show in just a couple months. So I'll start down here with Oh Really. This is Icebreaker, the card game. This is a game you can play with a new gaming group, with people you've been playing games with for forever, and you will learn something new about your friends every single game. So each round there will be an active player who reveals 5 topic cards, and everyone else has a hand of cards numbered 1 through 5. You're going to lay down those cards, ranking them according to how you think the active player is going to respond. So if you think poetry is my number 1 favorite thing out of these options, you'll put your number 1 there. If you think trash smell is my number 5, you'll put it there. These are very good hints, aka I hate those things. Once everyone's placed their cards, the active player will place their cards as well with the correct answers. We'll reveal and see how close or how way off we are from each other. So it prompts discussions, laughter. It's a good time all around. Now there's a card that says, I know this one. You'll pair that with the number you are 100% confident you've matched with the active player. There's no penalty for being wrong, except for maybe being laughed at, but it will double your points if you're right. So this is a game where you just play until you want to play something else. It's a social, fun game. It'll be $20, releasing in retail mid-September, but we'll have early copies for purchase at Gen Con.
Okay, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. Northgard is our biggest Gen Con release, quite literally, but we will also have very many tables at our booth. We had scheduled events with 100 seats, and they sold out already, so we added more. So people are very, very excited to play this at our booth. We played this just a couple days ago as a team, and I've discovered it is a 4X deck builder.
Okay.
Which is an interesting combination, but it's an approachable version of both of those genres. It should be playable by people who've never played board games before, because this is actually an adaptation of a video game. So plenty of fans of the video game can also enjoy the board game. What we're doing is each controlling our own Viking clan, and they'll have variable player powers with special cards that they can upgrade. Now at the beginning of the game, we'll have a matching identical set of 6 starting cards, which have these really readable icons. Move, add a tile, build a building, add a unit to the board. So each round, you'll draw 4 cards from your deck and play a card each turn, doing whatever's shown on the card. So really, really easy to jump right into the gameplay. What we're trying to do is control open territories with no border, or closed territories which are entirely surrounded. Closed territories will generate victory points each round, but all territories will generate the resources printed on the tiles. The game will last either 7 rounds, or it can end early if one person controls 3 closed territories with a large building in each. Now, not all territories will have space for large buildings, so that might be why you invade someone else's territory, to take control over something they've worked to build. Battle will be fairly common, but it's pretty approachable. So we look at our units first. I have 1 strength with my 1 purple guy. Red has 2 strength. We have the opportunity to feed our units apples to pump them up like Popeye. Apples are the spinach of this world. And then we'll each roll a die. So if we forget about apples and we look at red, their strength is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My strength is a measly little 1. So normally I'm kicked out into a neutral territory or purple territory. But on my way out, I take 2 axes from my belt, swoosh, swoosh, and I actually eliminate red on my way out. So now I get to claim this territory, even though my strength was not enough. So the battles are pretty quick, pretty interesting, and will happen very often. At the end of each round, when you pass, this is the extent of the deck building. You'll gain 1 upgraded card and add it to your deck as you pass. So there's no market. You don't have to buy the cards. The biggest your deck will be is about 12, 14 cards.
Okay.
So not too many choices to be overwhelmed with. It should play in 90 minutes with a few players. So again, not going to take up your whole game night. Again, very approachable. So that's Northgard. Another game that we had to add more events for is Turing Machine. This is a new game by Scorpion Masqué, the makers of Decrypto, Masterword, all of these really clever, thinky games. This is a competitive game in which we're trying to break the 3-digit code find the right combination of a blue, yellow, and purple number. We're going to do that by asking the artificial intelligence computer right here to test our hypotheses. So we have a few different logic questions out here. Each round we can test up to 3 of them by taking these punch cards and trying to examine the logic. So if I want to test if yellow equals 4, I'll grab the yellow 4 punch card and then the 2 other colors, so I create this overlapping punch card with only one window right here. Now each logic question has its own specific answer key, so we'll slide that behind. Now is that a red X or a green check mark?
It's a green check mark.
So that means my hypothesis, yellow equals 4, is correct. If I tested yellow is less than 4, the other problem on that logic card, you can see now I've gotten a red X, so I know it's not correct. So you can either hit the nail on the head, find the right answer immediately for that number, or go through the process of elimination, testing it multiple times. At the end of each round, we'll have the opportunity to guess the 3-digit code. If we're right, you win the game. If multiple people are right, you're going to see who's made the fewest number of tests, who has found the correct answer in the least number of steps. Now what we have here on the board is the first question in the box. There's several more setups in the rulebook, but there's also a companion website that has 7 million combinations.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, you'll be playing this for a while. It also has a solo mode and a co-op mode if you need some extra brain power, because the logic problems become more and more involved as you play. So it'll level up in complexity with you. Yeah, that is Turing Machine coming out. It's releasing mid-November, so we'll have really early copies at Gen Con. The final game I'm going to show you at the booth is Critical. This is a role-playing game for people who have been intimidated by RPGs, like myself. Either because you don't have the time to do a full campaign, or you don't think you're clever enough to role-play and improv and act and come up with a really interesting character. So to take some of that pressure off, we have 8 pre-gen characters to choose from. There's some text and skills on them already, but you'll determine their name, you'll choose their background card, which also adds more skills. The reason being a card is important is that the story written on it will be cohesive no matter how you mix and match your characters. So you don't have to worry about there being this one lone character who's way overpowered or doesn't fit in the setting. No matter what you pick, it'll work with the story. Now, Critical Foundation is set in the cyberpunk futuristic setting, and it's formatted like a TV show. So season 1 is what we have here, with 9 episodes that play in 30 minutes each.
Okay.
So again, bite-sized, really easy to sneak this into your game night. Each episode, players will visit 2 to 3 different scenes and do the normal skill checks, combat, investigation, discussion. The GM, because there is still a game master, has this handy-dandy book, 1 per episode. Now this gives them a script to read from. They don't have to create the story themselves, but it has a choose-your-own-adventure mechanic, kind of. If your players do X, then read this. If they didn't talk to this person in time, read this passage. So this is a full story in and of itself. Everyone's welcome to embellish, to roleplay extra if they want, but you're going to have a very fleshed out, satisfying story just with the contents of the box anyway. Now, I mentioned the TV thing, right?
Yes.
At the end of each season on TV, there's a season finale. So as you play the 9th episode, your choices of the whole story will lead into this finale and a cliffhanger, which will affect season 2, which comes out next year. So really exciting, interesting things.
Awesome, that sounds really fun as well.
But yeah, these 4 ones we'll have at our booth 2109 at Gen Con, available for purchase, events, demos, and we'll have even more stuff going on then too. So check out our website, check out Gen Con's website, and we'll see you there.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for talking to us.
Absolutely.